Thanks for watching Endgame Economics. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. It's completely free for you, and it helps us continue making more videos like this.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. So how exactly does a $30 billion gap just form in a national central bank's accounts without anyone noticing until it's way too late? You know, it didn't involve some grand vault heist or a dramatic midnight getaway. Actually, it was done in broad daylight, it used completely legal financial tools, and the whole thing was hiding right there in plain sight. Today, we're going to completely dissect the rather opaque world of currency swaps, and we'll look at the accounting illusions that quietly drained a nation's reserves. To really understand how something like this happens on a national scale, I want you to imagine opening up your banking app on your phone. It boldly displays a balance of $37,000. Now, that's a pretty comfortable number, right? It's the kind of number that helps you sleep well at night. But here's the catch. $11,000 of that is actually pledged as collateral for your car loan. You owe another $6,000 to a friend, and $20,000 is just temporarily swapped with your cousin. So your actual free and clear money, it's about $300, but your app is still proudly flashing $37,000. Basically, the app is lying to you by omission. And for the better part of a decade, a major central bank ran this exact same magic trick, just with a mind-boggling $30 billion discrepancy.
The trapdoor that this entire $30 billion story falls right through relies on one simple, honestly kind of boring accounting distinction: gross reserves versus net reserves. See, gross reserves are the flashy headline number. It's the total assets sitting in the vault, every single dollar, euro, and gold bar just added up. But net reserves? Well, that asks the rude follow-up question. How much of that is actually yours, completely free and clear of any obligations? Because if you only ever report the gross number, you can paint this very rosy yet entirely misleading picture of your financial health. Imagine you have two pieces of paper sitting on your desk from August 2023. Over on the left, the Central Bank of Nigeria, or the CBN, officially reports a very comfortable $33.8 billion in gross reserves. Okay, sounds great. But on the right, a research note from JP Morgan drops an absolute bombshell. They actually did the math, and they estimated that the CBN's net reserves, meaning the actual cash they could touch and spend, was closer to just $3.7 billion. Same country, same week, but a terrifying gap of over $30 billion. So how on earth do you mask a gap that massive? Well, the answer is swaps. To see how this massive gap built up over time, we really have to start with a swap they actually wanted the public to see. Picture this. You're a Nigerian electronics importer, and you're buying phones from China. You earn your money in Naira, the factory wants to be paid in Chinese yuan, but nobody really trusts a direct exchange between the two. So you end up running this crazy currency relay race. First, you convert your Naira to US dollars. Then you convert those US dollars into yuan. Every single step charges a toll, costing you anywhere between 2 to 6% just in conversion spreads. The US dollar isn't even part of the actual trade. It's literally just an expensive toll booth you're forced to drive through to get your goods.
So to fix this headache, back in 2018, Nigeria and China held a highly publicized ceremony in Beijing. They signed a bilateral currency swap, agreeing to swap 15 billion yuan for 720 billion naira, which was about $2.5 billion at the time. Now, this was a friendly, completely transparent swap. It was meant to bypass that US dollar toll booth entirely, but there's a glaring math problem from day one. Nigeria's annual import bill from China was massive, meaning this new swap could really only cover about 15% of their total imports. The rest, it still required dollars. It was essentially like using a teacup to bail out a sinking ship. A swap doesn't magically create dollars out of thin air. It just reshuffles who has claims on them.
Okay, now leaving those sunny press releases behind, we have to step into the shadows a bit. The real financial drain wasn't in a headline anywhere. It was actually buried deep on page 166 of the central bank's audited financial statements for 2022. If you dug into Footnotes 16A and 29A, you'd find this tiny little entry titled Securities Lending. And guys, this is where the actual multi-billion-dollar magic trick was hiding. Because let's be real, almost nobody reads page 166 of a central bank's accounting report. And honestly, that is exactly what the architects of this system were counting on.
So what exactly is securities lending? The best way to think about it is like a pawn shop for the ultra-rich. Here's how it works. Step 1. The central bank hands over valuable foreign bonds it holds in its reserve to an international bank to act as collateral. Step 2. In exchange for that collateral, they receive fresh cash that they can spend immediately, usually to defend their local currency. Step 3. They agree to buy those exact same bonds back later on, usually at a slightly higher price because of interest. But here is the grand illusion. Because the central bank still technically owns the pawned bonds, they keep counting them in their gross reserves while also holding the fresh cash. So you have one pile of value doing the work of two. It beautifully inflates your gross numbers while your real net position is quietly bleeding out.
And they didn't just do this a little bit. That footnote we talked about, it revealed that the Central Bank of Nigeria had pawned its securities to the tune of $7.5 billion. Specifically, they owed $7 billion to JP Morgan and another $500 million to Goldman Sachs. Now, I want to be clear, this wasn't illegal. Securities lending is a totally standard Wall Street tool used for short-term liquidity all the time. But the danger is in the dose, and of course, the disclosure. The public and the global markets were looking at this really comforting gross reserve number that had been quietly pumped up by these massive, completely hidden IOUs. Alongside all that securities lending, the central bank was also heavily utilizing foreign exchange forwards. A financial analyst once compared this to a bartender promising free drinks next Tuesday just to clear out tonight's angry crowd. With an FX forward, the central bank tells an importer, hey, pay us in Naira today and we promise to deliver US dollars to you in 90 days. It's a clever way to soak up dollar demand today by writing a promise for tomorrow. But if you keep writing those promises faster than real dollars are actually arriving, you aren't managing a shortage anymore. You are quite literally just postponing an explosion.
Which brings us perfectly to the moment JP Morgan finally said the quiet part out loud. They took the CBN's claimed gross reserves, which sat at roughly $36.6 billion, and they simply started doing the subtraction that the central bank refused to do. They backed out $6.84 billion in those FX forwards, then they backed out $5.5 billion in securities lending, they stripped out the currency swaps in the over-the-counter futures, and what was left standing at the end? About $3.7 billion. Nearly 40% of the entire nation's reserves had effectively been pawned, promised, or swapped away. That tiny little footnote had suddenly become front-page news.
Naturally, things came to a head. When a new CBN governor, Oleyemi Cardoso, took over the bank in late 2023, he inherited this absolute nightmare. He was staring down a $7 billion backlog of unpaid FX forward promises. People were absolutely furious, and the market was in a state of panic. So he hired the global consulting firm Deloitte to come in, conduct a forensic audit, and ask one very devastating question. Are these claims even real? Well, the audit sorted through that $7 billion and discovered that a staggering $2.4 billion of those claims had severe issues. That means roughly 1 out of every $3 waiting in the queue wasn't even legitimately owed.
The details that came out of this audit are truly wild. Deloitte found claims with completely missing import documents. They found non-existent ghost entities holding massive claims for scarce dollars. They even found beneficiaries who hadn't even asked for foreign exchange, but were allocated it anyway. It's a pretty heartbreaking reality when you think about it. Ghost companies were allegedly sitting right at the front of the line for dollars, while actual legitimate businesses, like foreign airlines whose funds were completely trapped, were collapsing. Now, to be fair, it's also worth noting that some real businesses with just messy paperwork likely got caught in the crossfire of this incredibly strict audit. But still, the sheer scale of the irregularities was undeniable.
Of course, every machine requires an operator. And in this case, the legal reckoning is currently focused on the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. Now, we must be highly objective here, as these are ongoing legal matters in the courts. A special investigator appointed by the president has levied some truly explosive allegations, claiming the discovery of 593 unauthorized foreign accounts and over £543 million stored away in the UK. However, it is absolutely crucial to state that Mr. Emefiele categorically denies all of these charges. He has firmly stated the reports are completely false and calculated to disparage him. His trial continues as of mid-2026, and ultimately it will be the courts that decide the verdict.
But while those legal battles play out in the courtroom, the human cost of all this is already a confirmed reality on the ground. Think back to 2018, when that friendly China swap was first signed. $1 US cost about 305 Naira. By June of 2026, it had collapsed to trade around 1,357 Naira per dollar. That is not just some chart or a statistical fluctuation. That represents people's entire life savings being wiped out. That is a retired teacher's pension evaporating into thin air. That is everyday families suddenly unable to afford basic school fees. When these accounting illusions finally break, it's always the everyday citizens who foot the devastating bill.
Now, there is some good news here.
The painful transparency they've implemented is slowly working. By 2026, through forced audits and taking some really hard medicine, Nigeria's reserves actually began bouncing back to nearly $50 billion. Looking back at this whole incredible saga, I think we have three massive takeaways to keep in mind. Number one, gross is not net. Always look for the honest number underneath the comforting headline. Number two, swaps are just financial tools. They aren't inherent villains. The danger is purely in the dose and the lack of disclosure. And number three, the truth is incredibly patient. A secret buried in a tiny footnote today will inevitably become tomorrow's front page headline.
Which really leaves us with a rather unsettling thought to end our explainer today. We've just walked through how one of the largest economies in Africa masked a $30 billion deficit using standard, entirely legal financial instruments, hiding the reality from its own citizens for years. So I have to leave you with this question. If a $30 billion gap can quietly hide in a page 166 footnote, what is your central bank not telling you? Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating source material. Stay curious, keep looking closely at the details, and I will see you in the next explainer.